risk of being a little bit overzealous and enthusiastic, can we all give a big woo? Not Every Day Award is the recipient of a $12.3 million grant. So this is a major game changer for the Port of Hueneme. It speaks volumes to what we'll be able to do in the future in terms of environmental improvements, bring social value, and of course support trade and commerce here through our great port and serve the people of Ventura County. I am going to turn the mic over to our president of the board, Jess Herrera, to deliver opening remarks. And here we go. Jess, it's all yours.
Welcome, everyone. I've had people in the audience telling me to break a leg, but I don't think I'm going to do that exactly. But I certainly think that our representatives in Congress, especially Julia Brown, have broken a leg to help us get to this point. And I'm reminded of something that Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said. He said, to reach port, we must sail. We must sail, not drop anchor. We must sail, not drift. And I think that echoes the sentiment of Richard Bard, who, when he created this port, he said this port must always move forward. And I think today we are certainly going to move in that direction. We're going to make a great leap forward and make a great economic benefit for this entire community. The Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery Grant, or the Tiger Grant, has certainly roared today, and we have heard it here in the Port of Hueneme. And we are ready to ride the Tiger. So we're very excited. And of course, as I said earlier, getting this done required so much teamwork, so much effort, dedication from all of you. And I would like to give special thanks to some of the people that are here today, including Michael J. Rodriguez, Department of Maritime Administrator, that's here with us. Thank you. Chip Janikin, Maritime Administrator of the U.S. Department of Transportation. Secretary Anthony Fox, U.S. Secretary of Transportation.
These are all acronyms.
They're with us as spirit person. They've done their part. Senator Dianne Feinstein. Senator Barbara Boxer. Of course, Congresswoman Julia Brown. Who I'm sure was our point person throughout this whole process. Thank you, Julia. Then we have Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, who I think has a sore arm because you've been benching. Thank you. Okay, Senator Richard Lara. Senator Annabeth Jackson. Senator Fran Pavley. And Assemblymember Jackie Irwin. And from the California State Transportation Agency, Secretary Brian Kelly. And certainly, not last and not least, is all of our customers and staff who have worked very hard together to make this so possible. I also want to recognize that we have with us today my fellow Commissioner Mary Ann Rudy and Arlene Frazier. You know, the capital improvements that are going to be made possible by this grant are numerous, but most importantly, I believe this grant recognizes our port's great potential and ability to increase our economic benefit for our entire region. Tiger will strengthen and support our port's infrastructure, productivity, customer growth, and shoreside powered investment for a clean environment. Other benefits include $28 million in business revenue, $5.8 million in local purchases, and $4.8 million in state and local taxes. Tiger will make the Port of Hueneme a greater center of employment than it is today, with a projected 563 new jobs, good paying jobs, that can only strengthen our middle class and our surrounding communities for generations to come. And I sincerely mean that when I say for generations to come. The Port of Hueneme in the past has taken some great leaps forward. When we acquired 33 acres of the NCL property, when we acquired 11 acres of the Sunkist property, and when we created the joint use agreement with the United States Navy. Those were great leap forwards that have provided great benefits to this community and to this port to this day. And I am just as excited as everyone else here is that this, I guarantee you, that this benefit will be sustainable, and it will grow, and it will empower many people within our community by providing these good paying jobs. And so I want to thank everyone that had anything to do with this to make this possible for us today. And I think I have a little list here of people that I need to mention that I may have overlooked. We have Nicholas Rodriguez from U.S. Senator Boxer. There we go. We have Molly O'Brien from Senator Feinstein's office. Is Carla Castillo here from Hannibal? There we go. We have Lauren Bianchi Klein. Of course, we have Lynn Mazzella from the Linus Williamson line. Michael Villegas from the Air Pollution Office. Tracy Sisson Phillips, Port Hueneme Chamber. Keith Bertie, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. And I see various others that are not on my list, so like John Belcher right there, and of course Mike Wynn, and Josh Lindsay, and I'm going to miss you all, there's Tom Tatangelo. But, oh yes, Commissioner Emeritus Ramirez, who participated in our first Great Leap Forward, right, Jim? So anyway, it's great to have all of you here, and I'm going to hand over the microphone to Kristen Deacus.
Okay, well, this grant wouldn't be possible if we didn't have the institutional fabric to be able to apply for it. And where that comes from is from the United States Department Office of Transportation. And here today, representing that department, we have Deputy Maritime Administrator Michael Rodriguez. Michael Rodriguez actually started serving October 20th, 2014, so he's about a year in. He came here after active duty. He's actually, in 1979, he was a graduate of the United States Merchant Maritime Academy, and he sailed for 17 years. And we thank you, sir, for sailing us into years of success here by bringing us this tremendous grant opportunity. And we very much look forward to your remarks, and we thank you for your vote and confidence in us to put this money to good work.
I've got a few prepared remarks, but it's really wonderful to see so many people here and the sense of family that I get here from Port Hueneme. So I'll probably go off the rails here a little bit and just make this as informal as we all like. Kristen, yeah, we are sailing into the future, and it's good to have so many shipmates, and it's good to be a part of this. I'm meeting everyone here for the first time, and it's just wonderful to be able to show up while everybody's smiling and announce a $12.3 million grant for your efforts here. So yes, I am Mike Rodriguez, and I'm honored to be here. I'm also privileged to serve as the Deputy Maritime Administrator under our Administrator Chip Jenikin, who I will mention. He was mentioned here. He actually traveled to the Port of Indiana, where we were very pleased to be able to provide them with some title money. I'm also honored to represent Secretary Fox and the Department of Transportation. And there's so many people to mention. Jess Herrera, Kristen again, Congresswoman Brownlee, so pleased to meet you this afternoon. Commissioner Frazier, Commissioner Rooney. And when we did this earlier today in San Diego, and after I went through the names and I went through my talk, I realized just how difficult it is to put something like this together. We ask an awful lot of you, and I know how competitive it is, and how difficult it is to put that kind of package together and win. So for all the folks who I don't mention or didn't get a mention here today, who spent nights putting together the paperwork, asking questions, the people are shaking their heads. So I know I'm hitting a chord here, because that's the kind of work we all do when we're passionate about something. So thank you, all the folks who it's just not possible to mention right now. So the history of our nation is a story of opportunity. Right from the start, people came here for opportunities they didn't have elsewhere. The opportunity to practice their religion, the opportunity to be with family or to start a family, raise a family, the opportunity to learn a trade, get an education, land a job, or launch a business. In 1937, the Port of Hueneme began creating opportunities and creating jobs for the Golden State, creating economic opportunities for American businesses and American workers. And going forward, our nation is relying on ports like this one to keep sparking those opportunities that drive our economy and sustain our quality of life. But our nation has some big challenges ahead of it. In the next 30 years, we are expecting to increase our population by 70 million more people. That's 70 million more people who will be competing for our transportation capacity, 70 million more people whose goods will have to move through our freight system, and our infrastructure is not going to extend itself automatically. The infrastructure and capacities we need are not going to magically appear when we need them to. There aren't going to be any little gnomes that come out in the night to spin straw into roads and marine highways. That's why this 7th round of Tiger, in this 7th round of Tiger, the department reached out to transportation leaders nationwide, just like the ones in this room. We asked you all to tell us about the transportation projects that are critical to the future of you and your communities. And we asked for your solutions to the challenges we all know are coming in the next 20 to 30 years. One of the best plans that we received came to us from right here in Port Hueneme. You wrote to us with a plan to improve the wharfs, modernize cargo handling infrastructure, and extend on-dock rail, among many other things that I won't mention right now. So I am especially proud to announce that the Port of Hueneme Intermodal Improvement Project has been awarded $12.3 million in transportation investment generating economic recovery funds to make this project a reality. And give it So you're not only going to improve the infrastructure here, you are going to enhance sufficient trade for the Golden State and support California's long-term growth and support our rising American exports. So let me say this. We at the department, we at the Maritime Administration are extremely proud of what you're doing here at Port Hueneme. We're proud to be a part of it. We're proud to be shipmates. In fact, we are excited about every one of the 39 projects that we were able to fund, covering 40 projects in 34 states with this round of Tiger 7. But this is still just a drop in the bucket compared to where we have to be. This year we received an overwhelming number of Tiger applications requesting more than $10 billion in Tiger funds. Unfortunately, we were only able to award less than 5% of that number. And the truth is that these were all high-impact, innovative projects that we need, and the communities where they came from need very much. So we need to do so much more. These are the projects that will support our economy, the efforts that will connect Americans with opportunity and ensure that every citizen is in a position to prosper in the 21st century. But until the federal government is able to provide sufficient resources to support all of these deserving efforts, I know that projects like this one and folks like all of you will deliver and make our nation stronger. So good luck. Thank you so very much for inviting us to be here today and be a part of this, and congratulations once again. This one's for Kevin.
Okay. I don't think I could say enough about this person that I'm going to introduce next. In her short time in Congress, she showed support for Navy-based Ventura County by getting on the Veterans Committee for Veterans Affairs, then jumped right into it in the second term, and now sits on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. It's just outstanding how she's been able to support the major economic engines in Ventura County. We're just so proud to have her there. And let me just take you down a little path of what she's done over 3 years. We were faced with sequestration, and CBP might not have been able to work overtime, and our port was going to shut down on weekends. Well, she turned the lights back on weekends. Thank you, Congresswoman, for that. She found us $500,000 in Diesel Emission Reduction Act funding. She found us $1.7 million in federal funding in congestion mitigation air quality funds. And most recently, she found us a $1.5 million grant in EDA Economic Development Administration funds. And now she's really put the icing on the cake with this $12.3 million grant, pounding the pavement for us every day in Washington. Your unwavering support is so appreciated. Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen, and it is a great day in Port Hueneme. It is an unbelievable day. So very happy and honored, really, to be here to celebrate with you all. And I'm so happy that Deputy Administrator Mr. Rodriguez is here and traveled here to be with us here today so he can share and this community, this county's excitement over this extraordinary event. And I hope you'll go back and tell Secretary Fox that he made a good decision, and he made the right decision, and this is going to do so very, very much for our county and our region. This is without a doubt a big, big win for Port Hueneme and the county of Ventura. So, and as you said, I just can't underscore enough how competitive these grants are. As was said, over 600 applicants requesting a total of $10 billion, yet the Department of Transportation only had $500 million to award. I hope we can change that in the near future. But with only 39 or 40 grants that were awarded across the entire country, and we were competing against not just port infrastructure, but transportation, bus, aviation, bicycle paths, you name it, across the entire nation. So it's a big, big deal for our community. And many of you who are here today played such a crucial role in securing this grant. And I just want to extend my gratitude to each and every one of you for your hard work and all of your support. And thank you to Kristen Dekas. She's the CEO and Executive Director Extraordinaire of the Port. She has been a tremendous, tremendous leader for our community and for this port and for our county, as well as the extraordinary and exceptional Port Commissioners, Jess Herrera, who you've already heard from, Manny Lopez, Arlene Frazier, who is here, Jason Hodge, and Mary Ann Rooney. So you also worked very, very hard to put together such a strong and competitive proposal. And I too would also like to thank our U.S. senators, both Senator Boxer and Senator Feinstein, for their help and really doing the hard work and helping me to advocate for this important project. And a thank you to our many, many state and local partners for your support, which was also so instrumental in terms of our ultimate success. So I am also pleased and so honored to have been able to advocate for the Port of Hueneme's proposal in Congress with our congressional leadership and with the administration. And one of the crown jewels of Ventura County without exception, and the only deep water port. Not many people in Washington knew this until I started to go around and tell people, you know, this is the only, some people couldn't even pronounce Port Hueneme. It's not true anymore. But the only deep water port between Los Angeles and San Francisco, and the economic impact of the Port of Hueneme on our local and regional economy cannot be overstated. This grant promises to be a very big game changer for the port in terms of modernizing the facilities, retaining customers, bringing in new business to the port, which will bring more jobs to our community and will strengthen and sustain our region for the near future and for the future far, far ahead. Getting this funding this year especially is so important to ensure that the Port of Hueneme remains competitive as we expect the new Panama Canal to open next year. Earlier this year, the Port of Hueneme, as Kristen mentioned, won the Economic Development Administration grant to deepen the berths at the port as well as make improvements to the pier and wharf, which will provide access to larger capacity vessels. And as I said to Kristen then, when we got that award, you were in Washington, and I said, well, I hope that our success with this grant is a precursor and a sign to the future, knowing that this Tiger Grant award was going to happen in just a few more weeks. So the Port of Hueneme also has approval for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to deepen the port, which is going to allow those bigger ships to go through. So securing the $12.3 million Tiger Grant at this moment in time was especially, I think, advantageous. And you know, timing in our lives is really everything. And the fact that all three of these grants were secured in the same time frame, more or less, I think will give even greater value to the overall project, and our dollars, those dollars are going to go a longer way. So it is, it is such an honor to be here. It is such an honor to be able to represent all of you, and I look forward to continuing to work with the port and stakeholders throughout Ventura County to continue to support economic development and infrastructure improvements, which will keep our region strong. So thank you again for inviting me. It is a day to celebrate, and congratulations, really, truly, a deep, deep congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
This also could not have been possible without the stellar support of our senators. Both Senator Feinstein and Senator Boxer stepped up, gave us excellent letters of support, went to bat for us, understanding the importance and the value this project is going to bring to our community, our port. So thank you so much for your support. We do have representatives from their staff. Both come up, please, if you would. We have Molly O'Brien with us and Nicholas Rodriguez, and we welcome you to make some remarks.
Good afternoon. I'm so pleased to be here on behalf of Senator Feinstein, who wished she could be here today, but asked me to please share this note of congratulations to all of you. I've always believed that modern and efficient infrastructure is key to California's economic vitality. The wharf and pier improvements at the Port of Hueneme are part and parcel of that, and I'm thrilled it has been awarded a Tiger Grant. I was delighted to write a letter of support for this project and made it clear to the federal government this was a top priority for me. Whether it's accommodating larger ships, connecting cargo from boat to rail, or installing solar panels and seismic upgrades, I see a lot of value in this project. I'm confident that increasing the volume of cargo will be a boon for California's economy, and I'm looking forward to the many positive effects to come. I offer my deep congratulations to all involved.
We are also very fortunate to have the support of our state delegation, and Senator Hannah Jackson was certainly leading the charge here at the state level and getting recognition and bringing our project to the forefront. So I would like to invite Carla Castillo, Director for Senator Hannah Jackson, to join us.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here on behalf of Senator Jackson on such a wonderful day. The history of the port began with the state, and we're so incredibly grateful through the decades, the leadership, both by its CEOs and its commissioners, along with the customers that support this port and keep it going. We're grateful that not only we have so much great economic development, efficiency, transportation, expanding, and we are just very fortunate that the port has been incredible neighbors to the community. So on behalf of Senator Jackson, thank you to Congresswoman Julia Brownlee, thank you to the administration, to Senators Feinstein and Boxer, for making sure that Port Hueneme is at the front and center of this competitive grant. This money is going to be multiplied, and I know that this community will make you proud under the leadership of Kristen Dekas, the commissioners, and all the staff here at the Port of Hueneme. So on behalf of Senator Hannah Jackson, congratulations.
So before we close, I just again want to acknowledge some folks in the room. If my commissioners would stand up. Where am I? The direction, everything you do for us. My staff, where's my staff in the room? Is he? My CFO. All of you stand up. So much for everything you do and for all of your hard work. We had the engineering firm that helped craft our grant here, Brian Manley and Ken Parkinson. Together. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to our customers. All of you stand up. You get our port Now we have a group that's been put together named Portis that represents our customers, and I believe that they would like to come up and make a presentation. This is Michael Wynn with Globus, who I think, are you the president of Portis? Vice President of Portis.
Oh, what a wonderful day. As Christian said, my name is Michael Winsong, and I'm the Senior Executive VP for Globus America, Inc. It's a subsidiary and logistical arm for Hyundai Group in America and in Korea. As Kristen mentioned earlier, Congresswoman Brownlee has been very instrumental in helping the port on various projects here and going incrementally from $1 million up to 12.5. We can only imagine what the encore might be. In light of that, we have prepared an award for Congresswoman Brownlee. This grant is instrumental in helping fund the port's intermodal improvement project, and for the port, the local stakeholders here, the tenants, and everyone associated with the port here, this will enhance productivity and support growth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is
With deepest gratitude, your tireless efforts on behalf of the Port of Hueneme will create a long-term legacy of economic benefits for businesses and working people of Ventura County. Tiger Grant, U.S. Department of Transportation, October 30th, 2050.
a great deal, and it will have a very special spot in my office back in Washington, D.C. So I have a beautiful picture of the port, but this will really set it off perfectly. And I, too, just want to recognize my staff who works hard every single day for the port. Karina, who works here locally and is our district director, And Lenny Young, who is my chief of staff, and most everybody here in the room knows both of them. But I will tell you, I would not be successful if I didn't have Lenny and my chief of staff behind me, and we collectively made a decision that we were going to do everything humanly possible to turn every single stone possible to make sure that we win this grant. So thank you, Lenny, thank you, Karina, and thank you all very, very much.
So again, congratulations to all of us. This is an exciting day, and in the spirit of Halloween, even though Halloween's tomorrow, I'm going to be a tiger witch, and I invite you all to join us to celebrate.
Hi, we have Mike Rodriguez here, and he's the deputy of the Maritime Administration. And Mike, thanks for joining us here. This is an exciting time right now. So tell us what this Tiger Grant's all about, maybe some history, and some of the impact that it's going to have in this area.
Well, right. The Tiger Grants, Tiger stands for Transportation Investment Generating Economic Recovery.
Nice.
And this is the 7th round of Tiger Grants, and we're very pleased to be here at Port Hueneme today to deliver the good news of a $12.3 million grant to improve the port here. So the criteria, the priority that we use to determine awardees or the projects that should be funded are safety, state of good repair, economic competitiveness, quality of life, and sustainability. So this project here at the port has quite a number of those elements. There's a dredging part of the project that's going to allow larger ships to come through the port. There's going to be some more cold storage, I understand, that will be installed here. So those kinds of things help the economic competitiveness of the port. And so a little bit of money, 12.3 is not a small amount of money, but it can do a lot of good in a port like Port Hueneme.
Is it appropriate to ask, time frames you see? Do you think you start seeing some of the effect of this, 1 year, 5 years from now? What would you, if you had to predict, when you start seeing results from it?
Well, once the port has done all its planning and begins its actually begins in getting into the project, I'm sure you'll see results as those elements of the project begin to come together. They also, you'd have to talk with the port officials here, but they can go out and market a greater capability, maybe not now, but down the road into the future. And that's what's important about these grants, is that it does position a port like Port Hueneme for the future.
No, I love it. And I just know the current state, I know bananas come into the port, automobiles. Do you see more, just from an economic standpoint, more of that, more of a broadening of the product coming in, or just more of a volume of what we have right now?
Well, probably more of a volume of what you're getting here now, because shippers and the folks who make decisions about where to deliver their products, they know you here. That they'll be very happy that you're expanding capability, because that helps them with their costs and helps them deliver their product. But with the expanded capacity, the port may possibly go out and get some new business as well. So that's kind of what the idea is. It's
all good, and like I said, Back to the Future, we're going to 5 years out now, and we're going to just be doing great here in Hueneme and this whole region. So thank you for your time. Really appreciate the hard work that you put into this.
Well, there's a lot of people here who did a lot of hard work to make this award possible. So we appreciate that work, and we're glad to be here.
We'll put that on the credits as they roll down. It takes a half an hour to get through
There may be a lot of them.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your interest.
Back to you. Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with KDY-TV, and I'm so happy. I've got Julia Bromley here with me, and we're here to celebrate, acknowledge the Tiger Grant that's happening here at the city of Port Hueneme, the district. But Julia, tell us what you envision this doing for the port. I think that's the main
This
thing.
is huge. I mean, it's huge. We're really here to celebrate because it's a great, great day for the Port of Hueneme. And what it really means is that this port is going to build the infrastructure necessary, first deepening the port, reinforcing the berths and so forth. And deepening the port is really important because the Panama Canal is going to open in another year or so.
Wow.
So we can bring in larger ships to the Port of Hueneme, so more ships, better economy, more jobs, all is really, really good. The other thing, as you know, lots of automobiles come here to the port, and they will be able to go directly to the rail, to the main rail line, as opposed to having to come out, park, and go. So it's a very, very, very important project, and it's going to be, I think, game-changing for the Port of Hueneme, and it's just great for the city of Hueneme, it's great for the port, it's great for the county, it's great for the region.
No, I love it. Since Back to the Future is such a big topic right now, I'm already seeing how it's going to look, some years from now. So congratulations on being here. It's always lovely seeing you.
Thank you, Peter.
It's a great thing. So it's
a
all
great
good.
thing. Thank you very, very much.
Back to you. Hi, it's Peter Godinez, your ambassador. I have another celebrity in front of me. At least I think he's a celebrity.
Wow.
And that's Jess Herrera, and he is a harbor commissioner. I mean, this has to be a really exciting time for you because you're like the poster face person for the port. But what's going through your mind and what you hope from this Tiger Grant?
What's going through my mind is the great opportunities that it's going to create for our entire Ventura County. As far as businesses are concerned, the growth that's going to be felt there, the growth in jobs is going to be very exciting. And not only will it be temporary, but it will be long-term, and that is what makes it so exciting. We're going to leave a legacy here that's going to go on for generations, and that's hard to really comprehend, but it's true. And that's what I'm so excited about.
This is a very historical time, and we're capturing it on video. But I just think for 5 years from now, it'll be like Back to the Future because it's going to be a different place, a different mentality, a new energy, more economic opportunities. Do you think that's going to be the case here?
Well, definitely going to be the case because these grants are very competitive, and they're looking for places where the money will do the best good for the entire community. And this is going to be uplifting. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be uplifting for, like I said, the business. It's going to be uplifting for the community. It's going to provide quality jobs, good paying jobs, and those jobs are going to be sustainable and they're going to go into the future. So it is going to be it's not going to necessarily be a different place. It's going to be a blue collar worker.
There you go.
But it's going to definitely create new jobs and new opportunities.
Sound like a lot more happy people. And Jess, if people don't say thank you enough, I'm going to say it right now. Appreciate who you are, the presence you are, and what you represent. So honor always seeing you.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, back to you.